Alrighty guys, welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. I hope you guys have all been doing well out there. We are going to be talking about what we can expect as we head into Halloween, and right now I got the total precipitation already pulled up right there. So, this is definitely going to, be pretty interesting as we head into Halloween. And, let's start you guys out with, talking about some storm systems right here. So we're going to go ahead and go back to precipitation rate so you guys can see. We're going to turn that off. And, if we go ahead and, continue to take this forward on the European model, this is what it looks like right now, as we don't really have much going on across the US. But look what happens as we get closer into Halloween, guys. We start to see, some storms start to get ongoing out here in the west. And as those continue to move forward, just look how organized that is, guys. This is, a huge long line of storms right there that we certainly will need to be keeping an eye on as we head into Halloween. Look at that. That's 1 a.m. on the 31st right there. And that will continue to move towards the east and even, start doing some afternoon impacts. So, this is certainly going to be something to keep an eye on, like I said, as, this does seem quite interesting, like I said, as we could definitely see a storm system around, and that will continue into the nighttime hours on Halloween, so we still could have some rain impacts on Halloween night when you guys go trick-or-treating, and that's mainly for the Southern Plains into the Ohio Valley, and as well as into the Northeast, so those will be areas to watch closely for on Halloween. And then as we continue to take this forward, a little bit of a question mark, especially because we are now heading over 12 days out, but we could, see another storm system right after Halloween move on through, which this one does look like it could even bring a little bit of severe weather, so that's why we are going to be keeping an eye on it closely, especially after that storm system moves on through, like I said. So this is, going to be something to keep an eye on as, models will continue to, let us know about what this could look like as we continue. But let's go back to the total precipitation now. And like I said, that's just to give you a good idea on what you can expect for your Halloween. And as you guys can see for the total precipitation, right around, 1 to 3 inches is possible across parts there of southeast Kansas, into parts there of eastern Kansas, into northern and western Missouri, and as well as southern Iowa, and maybe even as far east as eastern Illinois. So we definitely will need to be watching for the potential of some rainfall. Back over here towards the Ohio Valley, though, doesn't show a whole lot, but we could still get some beneficial rainfall as that line, will continue to move through. So places like the Little Ohio Valley could get close to an inch in some areas, but it's really just going to be, this area right here where we see that best potential of 1 to 3 inches of rain. So this is going to be the area to keep an eye on the closest, as we could really be seeing some high rain potential, like I said, as that Halloween storm does look to be rolling on through. Let's now go ahead and look at some other things that we can expect as we head closer into Halloween. And as you guys can see, as we head from October 29th through November 2nd, this is the 6 to 10 day outlook, we do expect there to be well above average temperatures across much of the eastern United States, with above or below normal temperatures across, much of the western United States. And as you guys can see, really dark blue color showing up in the cane that we could even see well below average temperatures across this area. So this will definitely be an area to watch for as well. And precipitation also does look interesting, especially because we could even see some above average snowfall, especially across the Rocky Mountains, where we will likely see some above average snowfall. So like I said, we definitely will need to be keeping an eye on it, as it does look to be quite active near Halloween. Let's see here. Oh no, my kid just went out costume shopping and it's probably going to rain here. I know, my friend. Like I said, we are watching closely for, some storm systems to get on going near Halloween, which could really bring that potential for some heavy rainfall, like I said, and I'll show you that again so that way you can get a good idea. And this is definitely interesting, like I said. So we will really need to be keeping an eye on it closely. But, back to where we were before, like I said, we can kind of see, how it starts to really get quite organized there. And look at that, even Kansas City, Missouri getting some pretty heavy rain potential right there. And, that's still going to continue to bring at least some rain issues as it continues to head into the Ohio Valley. So like I said, probably is going to be rainy, my friend. So, I would rather it not rain in my area either because I'm in Southwest Indiana. But it's just something that happens sometimes. So like I said, we will continue to watch this closely and of course keep you guys updated on it so you guys have some ideas on what we could see as we head closer into Halloween and even after Halloween as we head to November. So like I said, this is gonna be something to really be keeping an eye on closely, especially as we head near Halloween, like I said. But back to where we were before, like I said, above normal precipitation is certainly expected across parts here of the Midwest and even parts there of the Rocky Mountains too as well. So, this is going to be something to really be keeping an eye on as this does, really look to bring some, potential right there. So, we will be watching for some pretty active storm tracks by that time, and 8 to 14 day outlook a little bit different because we're not talking as much above average temperatures, but still, we could see some pretty well above average temperatures across the eastern United States, with still some below average temperatures continuing for the west, and then we also see, still above average precipitation across the central United States as we head into that same time frame. Let's see here. Well, she will have to cope with her clear umbrella. Yeah, we may have to get our umbrella ready before Halloween, my friend. Like I said, sure is gonna be on the rainy side of things as we get closer to Halloween, and we can even look at another model if we want to as well, just to get another good idea on what we could see. And so, it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely going to be interesting on what we'll see during that time. We just got to wait for the small run to load real quick, which sometimes can be slow. But, yeah, total precipitation on the GFS model, sure is actually picking up on it, quite a bit. So, still, got some good agreement on, maybe an inch or two of rainfall across parts there of, Iowa into Illinois, maybe even northern Missouri. So, this is going to be another area to watch closely for, like I said. And, this is pretty much from now all the way to October 23, but if we continue to head closer, actually that was not October 23, I apologize, that was actually on Halloween, but, models, are, even pretty aggressive as we get to the end of it. Look what it shows as we head into November 8th, it shows, that we could really be seeing a ton of rainfall across that area, but, that is super far out, and like I said, models are usually pretty bullish, especially if you go to the very end of the model run. So, we will keep an eye on it, like I said. Still remains uncertain, though, because we don't really have the best agreement on how much precipitation we'll see as we head into Halloween. But what I can tell you, though, is that we will need to, be watching the storm system closely, and I'm pretty sure we will have some rain in some areas, and I just want you guys to be aware about that. Back here to the radar again, we are, keeping an eye on closely. We are going to go, look at the hazards next. And, with this, being shown, this brown color that you see right there, that indicates a slight risk for high winds as we head, from Halloween all the way into November 3rd, so that will be a time frame to watch for high winds. But a little bit far down to the south, though, across, parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley, we actually do have that risk for some, heavy rainfall, as we do have that in play, and that will be from Halloween through November 2nd. So again, that's going to be some areas we do need to be watching closely as we head into Halloween and into the beginning of November. So keep in mind that we could be dealing with some widespread high winds mixed with, maybe even some heavy precipitation. It just depends on how strong the storm system gets, but like I said, we will certainly need to be keeping an eye on it just in case anything, does go crazy. But as of right now, we're mainly just expecting, that potential for some rainfall, as most models don't show it super heavy, but they are showing at least on the heavier side of things. So like I said, we will need to be keeping an eye on it closely. I'm just making sure my OBS program is doing all right, which it looks like it is. But something else we would like to show you as we head into Halloween is just kind of warn you guys about the trophics a little bit. This is just to show you guys that trophics could be on the active side of things as we also head into Halloween. Not necessarily going to be active on Halloween, but pretty much during Halloween is when we could be seeing some active trophics. So that's going to be from October 30th all the way to November 5th, where we do have that likelihood of development across that Caribbean area right there, as you guys can see. And same goes as we head from November 6th to November 12th. Still got a pretty massive area to watch for some development as we head into November. So again, it's going to be something that we still need to be watching closely as we head into later this month and even into the beginning of November. So we will need to be watching on it closely. So make sure to keep that in mind, especially if you do live across the, southern United States, which includes Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. You guys all need to be watching the trophics closely for the potential of, a tropical storm or something developing into the future, which, still does remain uncertain, but like I said, we could definitely be seeing some active trophics, and as we head into November. And if you're wondering why they're putting at least a likelihood of development as we head into November, is because look how warm those water temperatures are, guys. We are talking well above average water temperatures across much of the Caribbean. Okay, we're talking areas around Cuba, the Dominican Republic, into Puerto Rico right there. Areas like that are seeing well above average water temperatures, okay, which is really putting that risk for some development right there. And it really just depends on if we'll have any dry air around as we head into November, and it also depends on if there'll even be any wind shear. But, with these really warm waters, even if there is a little bit of both around, this could still really help with intensification as we head to November. And, we are also getting pretty close there to a La Nina. We are actually pretty much right on that edge between a La Nina and a neutral phase. So, if this dips down just a little bit more and it continues to go down, then we may confirm that as a weak La Nina. But it just depends on what the water temperatures do over the next several days. And if they continue to go down, like I said, probably will be confirmed as a weak La Nina, which is something that we do need to be watching closely. And I apologize if my voice sounds weird. And I apologize that my voice might sound like that. Alright. This should help a little bit. Alright, there we go. I think I fixed it by unplugging it. Let me just make sure it's sounding good again. I'm not sure why it chose to do that, which like I said, I do apologize for that. Alright, okay, there we go. I fixed it. I think I figured out what it was. But let's see here. You're fine. You're getting better with each video. Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate that. I know I'm struggling with all the things that I have. And so, you know, it kind of wears me out. So, but thanks, my friend, like I said. But I fixed it, though. It was just that my OBS program was kind of getting confused on, you know, what I was using. But since I did that earlier, it should finally sound good now. But like I said, I do apologize for that, though. But anyway, like I said, we will be watching to see how much those water temperatures drop as we head into the future. And you know, if we even take a look at those sea surface temperature anomalies, we are actually starting to see, you know, some pretty well below average temperatures there across, you know, much of the eastern and central Pacific Ocean. So this is going to be an area to watch closely for as we, you know, continue to head into November, because as of right now, you know, we are already starting to see it shaped up quite a bit right there, as we, you know, we're seeing some well below average temperatures across those areas. So, you know, something that we do certainly need to be keeping an eye on extremely closely, as, you know, we will continue to see those temperatures drop potentially. So we will need to be, you know, needing to watch for that. And something that would help me out a lot is if you guys would, you know, share this with other people, just to let them know about what we could expect for Halloween, and we're gonna go over that again. And you know, I also do appreciate you guys getting me up there towards 600 subscribers, guys. That is a huge round of applause right there. So, you know, I just think it's very unbelievable, and so I hope you guys, you know, will continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So like I said, make sure to share this, you know, with anyone who you can, so that way they know about, you know, how this Halloween could be. And you know, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to go down below and click that subscribe button. But you know, like I said, we are gonna be still be watching closely for Halloween. And if we go to the European model again and take a look at that, this is, you know, anywhere from now all the way to Halloween right there. We are, you know, like I said, we are going to be watching some areas that could, you know, really get a lot of precipitation, like places like Kansas City could get, you know, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. So we will need to be watching those areas. We could, you know, also see a little bit across the Little Ohio Valley, like I said. So this is definitely going to be an area to watch, you know, very closely as we continue to head towards November. So, you know, make sure to keep that in mind, especially if you got any Halloween plans out there. So, yeah. And then we also got quite a bit of precipitation falling there near British Columbia, but those still remain uncertain, like I said. Alright, and you know, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. I'll answer any Halloween questions that you guys have, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about the weather, but you guys can leave any, you know, thing in the chat if you would like, and you can leave, you know, any of that in the chat as long as it's respectful, so feel free to do that. But, if we go back to the models again, we're now gonna go ahead and look at what we can expect for temperatures for Halloween now. So if we go to our temperatures, as you guys can see, you know, as we do get closer to Halloween, we are expecting there to be some, you know, pretty well above average temperatures as we head into Halloween, like I said. So let's go on Halloween right there. And yeah, got some very, very warm temperatures across that area. And if we go ahead and select that, look at that. We're talking upper 70s, you know, even topping out right near 90 across these areas in Texas. You know, certainly gonna be pretty warm for this time of year, guys. This is not your typical Halloween, right here, as we head into Halloween, obviously, and, by using the GFS model again, it does show a similar thing, as we are likely going to see some warmer than normal temperatures, and it actually does show, some lower 90s developing in Texas, guys, which is crazy, okay? So, it's definitely, like I said, this is definitely not your typical Halloween right here, and if we continue to take this forward, still continue to be well above average for these areas, and this is definitely gonna be something to keep an eye on, like I said, as we will see like 90s once again, like I said, starting to pull up some 90s right there on the GFS mall as we head towards Halloween. And if we really do head into Halloween, still likely to be some pretty warm temperatures even down here in Texas. So like I said, not your typical Halloween, as it will be warmer than normal, but we'll also have that potential for maybe a storm system or two as we head into Halloween, which does remain uncertain, but we will keep an eye on it for you guys just in case. So we will need to definitely be watching it closely, like I said. And like I said, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We will, get to those, after we're talking about some things. But like I said, feel free to leave any of those in the chat, and you guys can even ask them Halloween questions, like I said. So feel free to do that if you would like. And like I said, this is not your typical Halloween, as we are likely to see well above average temperatures across Dixie Alley, the southeast, into Texas, where we will likely see some 80s and 90s around on Halloween. But like I said, my friends, we are likely also going to be seeing that storm system move on through, which once again could really bring that potential for some high amounts of precipitation. So it is certainly going to be something to keep an eye on, like I said, as this does look to continue to get at least on the interesting side of things. And again, an inch or two of rainfall is certainly possible across both of those areas, and it does start to be a little bit of aggressive as we head into November. But like I said, that is really far out, so that is definitely going to remain uncertain as of right now. But the European model actually does show a little bit more in the way of precipitation. So if we wait for the European model to load, it really does show a lot of precipitation when we last look at it, because as you guys can see, it shows much more widespread amounts across these areas once again. But even over here towards the lower Ohio Valley, we could definitely be seeing some really high rainfall totals too as well. So again, something that we really do need to watch closely for, especially as we get closer to Halloween. And we could be seeing anywhere from 2 to 3 inches there in northern Missouri, eastern Kansas, and southern Iowa, and perhaps parts there of western Illinois. Parts there of southern Kansas and southeast Kansas will be another area, and maybe even areas in Oklahoma could also get quite a bit too as well. So we will definitely continue to keep an eye on it for you guys. Something else that I want to let you guys know about is, what we can expect as we head into the future, okay? So, something that, we haven't took a look at yet, we're going to go back to the GFS model, because that's the one we like to use quite a bit of the time. And we're going to go to precipitation rate. And, if we go down here into the Atlantic Ocean, and like I said, we're just going to have to wait for this to load. Hold on a second. Let's see. It's a little slow right now, which I apologize. Oh, and it also might be doing a new run. So let's switch to the European model then. Okay, there we go. That's better. Or even let's see. Some of these models are uploading, so I can't use them just yet, but if we go to the GFS model, and if we go to the model one, just right before it, And, you know, if we continue to take this forward, like I said, it takes a little bit for it to load, but, you know, if we look here at the Trophics, though, you know, it is looking like the Trophics could definitely be active as we head to November, and, you know, look at that, guys, you know, just a lot of precipitation, a lot of precipitation across each of those areas, and, you know, even if we head back here to the models, you know, we are, you know, watching for that potential for maybe even a hurricane to spin up as we head to November. But like I said, guys, at the end of the model run, which is where we are right now, this is where, you know, models can be quite bullish, and it actually does show a Category 3 hurricane coming right on there on Cuba, and that's why I wanted to warn you guys about the Trophics in my video earlier today. And if you guys want to watch that, feel free to, but like I said, you know, definitely not good news right there, and that will also give us some ideas that we could maybe even see some rapid intensification across the Trophics as we head to November. What about this model right here? This model doesn't really show it, and like I said, models will sometimes show something crazy when we're at the end of it, which this one doesn't really. So like I said, you know, it is really going to remain uncertain on if we'll really see a hurricane or not as we head to November. But, you know, what I can tell you guys is that Trophics could be favorable, so we want you guys to be watching closely if you do live across, you know, the Dixie Alley area, the southeast, and even, you know, parts there of Texas. We'll need to be watching the Trophics closely for that potential of maybe a hurricane. Still questionable, though, like I said. So we will, you know, definitely need to be keeping an eye on that. We can also go ahead and, you know, take a look at some radars now. And, you know, we don't really have much going on across the United States, but, you know, just wanted to show you guys this to let you guys know, you know, about how quiet it is, because, you know, when I'm just selecting a bunch of radars, not really showing much in the way of precipitation across a lot of these areas, besides maybe a few thunderstorms in certain areas, but other than that, not really looking like a whole lot going on across the United States. And let's also go ahead and look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook, guys. We have not took a look at this yet, and, you know, for today's outlook, no thunderstorms in the forecast for today. As you guys can see, no general risk, no severe risk at all. So like I said, it's going to be really quiet for today. But look what happens as we head into tomorrow. As you guys can see, we do have a marginal risk for severe weather as we head into tomorrow. And the good news is that we don't have a tornado threat or wind threat, but we do have a small chance of large hail as we head into tomorrow. So not really looking like anything crazy, but, you know, you guys should at least be putting your cars into your garage, as we will likely continue to see, you know, that storm potential exist as we head into tomorrow. So if you do live across southern Iowa, northeast Kansas, northern Missouri, western Illinois, into parts there of eastern Nebraska, you guys need to be on extremely high alert for that potential of small hail. Like I said, nothing crazy, but I still want you guys to be on high alert just in case something, you know, may get a little bit on the organized side of things. And, you know, look what happens as we head into Friday. Okay, we'll see a small cold front moving on through, just letting you guys know there across, you know, the Ohio Valley, heading into the Southern Plains, where, you know, we could see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. So, you know, not expecting expecting anything severe, but it is definitely going to be an area to also watch for too, as well, as we will likely see that potential for some thunderstorms as we head into Friday of this week. So something that we also need to be watching closely for too, as well. And like I said, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns down in the chat. You guys can even ask questions about Halloween too, as well, which is what we're mainly doing in today's live stream. So feel free to leave any of that stuff down in the chat, and I will get to it as soon as I can. But that here too, the radar again, like I said, not really seeing much in the way of anything across those areas. But if we go here to the models again, we're gonna go here to the global models, and we're gonna select the GFS model. Then this time we're gonna go to Supercell Composites to give us a good idea on if that storm system coming on Halloween, which is what we just talked about, just like I said, will give us a good idea on if we'll see any supercell composite as we head into Halloween. And as you guys can see, as we continue to take this forward, a little bit of something there is starting to pop up there across parts there of Missouri. And if we go ahead and take a look at it with it, only 3.8, so that's pretty low right there. But as long as there's at least something, we will need to keep an eye on it closely. And this is mainly as we head into tomorrow, and that's why we had that marginal risk for severe weather in effect for parts there of Missouri. But as we continue to take this forward, though, as you guys can see, starts to die down quite a bit. But as we do head into Halloween, though, let's see if it does show anything. Not really, but it does start to show maybe some instances of severe weather across parts there of the plains, and that's as we head into November 1st, which will be just right after Halloween. And it does continue to maybe show a little bit of severe weather in the plains, plus it's actually really bullish as we head into the end of it. But like I said, it is going to be something to keep an eye on closely. Let's see here, could we actually use the rain here in Kansas City? Yes, we could really be using the rainfall even across much of the Midwest. We haven't shown you guys the drought monitor yet lately, so we'll go ahead and show you guys that. But yes, we really could use the rain here there in Kansas City. As you guys can see there in Kansas City, Missouri, you guys are currently under a severe drought. Okay, so yes, you guys really do need the rainfall. Plus, just to the south of you, areas like Joplin, Missouri are actually in an extreme drought, okay? So like I said, you guys could definitely use a lot of rain, because, you guys are already in a pretty bad situation right now. So, we're hoping you guys will get some rain, but not a guarantee, like I said, as that storm system is still remaining uncertain. But I hope you'll get some rain, my friend. Every time I get rain when we're in a drought, I like to celebrate it, just because we need it badly. But that's really all we can say for right now, my friend, but we're hoping we can get some, like I said. But if we go ahead and look at the moisture now, this is another thing we need when we're forecasting thunderstorms, and this is just to give us a good idea on what that storm system could look like as we head into Halloween. So we're gonna go back and wait for it to load. But, on Halloween, that moisture does look to be dry after that cold front moves on through. And just look at that huge difference, guys. We see moist air, right in front of the line, which will be to the east of it. But west of it, though, we see really dry dew points in the 30. Look at that. That's a huge difference when we see that storm system on Halloween. And look at that. That just continues to move towards the east, with still a huge difference, between the east and the west, with like I said, 60-degree dew points to the east, and that does even include the Evansville area. But just to the west west of that, look at that, we're seeing some 30-degree dew points right behind it. So like I said, definitely going to be, a huge storm system, and this could, maybe even bring that potential for severe weather, but I didn't really see any of that on the model run, so I don't think we're gonna have to deal with that as we head into Halloween, but we will continue to keep an eye on it just in case anything crazy does develop, so we will certainly keep an eye on it extremely closely. 7:29. So, we definitely will need to be watching it. Total precipitation once again. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that after this loads again. But total precipitation, is definitely still, like I said, quite a bit, especially with the GFS model run. Seen some pretty good amounts there of, an inch or so of rain across, Illinois, Indiana, parts of there, northern Missouri, southern Iowa. So another area to watch closely for as we do get closer into Halloween. So, we will definitely need to keep an eye on it extremely closely. And we will continue to be live a little bit longer. We've been live for about 36 minutes so far. And, it is kind of getting a little bit late, at least for me. So we are going to end this pretty soon. And we already went over mostly about what we wanted to talk about. But like I said, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns down in the chat that you guys have. And like I said, I will answer them if you guys would like me to. And so make sure to do that before we end this live stream. But something else we can also take a look at is how much snowfall we could see. So let's see, we're gonna go ahead and select snowfall because that storm system that is expected to develop out to the west could bring quite a bit of snowfall to those areas. So if we go ahead and go all the way 240 hours out, which will be past Halloween, look at that, guys. We really start to see a lot of snowfall, even for the Sierra Nevadas. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is a lot of snowfall. Look at that for the Sierra Nevadas, just to the northwest there of Lake Tahoe. Look at that. We are seeing almost 50 inches of snowfall across that area. That is super wild, okay? So definitely very, very heavy across that area. Cascade Mountains in Oregon could also get a lot of snow. Look at that, almost 30 inches of snowfall across the Cascade Mountains. Over there in Utah, not as much, but look at that. We could still see some isolated totals of around a foot. And then down here in Colorado, look at that. We could, be seeing well over 30 inches of snowfall in some areas. So it's definitely crazy to think about it, as these storm systems could really give us a lot of snowfall. Okay, so we can even take a look at that on the precipitation rate again, so that way you guys know. So if we go to precipitation type, and I mean, yeah, you guys can just tell there. We just gotta wait for this to load again because I just changed it. But look at that though, okay? As a storm system does start to get ongoing, which, like I said, that Halloween storm is looking to develop about right there. But, right before that, we really do see a lot of heavy snowfall, especially as we head into November 2nd. But, look at that, even more snowfall after Halloween, and look at that, even another round of snowfall during Halloween. So, I mean, just a lot of snowfall to come, guys. We're talking round after round of heavy snowfall across the Cascades. Like I said, as we head into Halloween right there, we see a round of snowfall. As we head into Halloween, though, we see another round of snowfall. And then, as we head into November, we could even see a couple more rounds of heavy snowfall too as well. So like I said, this is, really going to be a crazy pattern across those areas. So, we will definitely need to be keeping an eye on it. But, we've been live for quite a while so far. We've been, giving you guys the forecast for what we can expect this Halloween. Overall, we can expect there to be rainy conditions with warmer than normal temperatures across the eastern United States, with heavy snow and cold conditions likely for the western United States. So make sure to keep that in mind if you do live across either area. And I really do appreciate chatting with me a lot, Shella. I'm not sure if I said your name right, but I really do appreciate you chatting with me, and, I hope we, can get up to 700 subscribers before this winter comes, and, if we can, that will definitely help me out a lot, even when we're doing, winter storm coverage around. So, like I said, make sure to, share this with other people, subscribe if you haven't already, and, of course, make sure to like down below and leave any comments, questions, or concerns down in the chat or even the comments after this live stream, and I hope you guys all have a great day.